All right, we're back. We're back. Thank you if you're watching this for the second time. We had a bit of technical difficulties on round one, which means we only get to improve on round two. So welcome everyone. If you're joining me via Facebook, if you're joining me via YouTube, my name is Bridget Foliaki-Davis, and I'm going to be your host today on what is episode 172 of my little diary entry that I like to call Diary of a Nutritional Chef. So it has been since the very beginning of the year that I've been doing these little diary entries, hopefully sharing with you guys a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of nutritional science, and just kind of giving you a bit of a behind the scenes look into a day in the life of what it means to be a chef who is also a functional nutritionist and someone who pretty much kind of just loves food. So we do talk a little bit about food here, and my goodness, are we going to be talking about food this evening? Because it is the evening here in Sydney, just gone. Oh, it's just about to go 6 p.m. Here in Sydney. Beautiful, wonderful day. Extremely busy day, though, I have to tell you guys. Really busy day. But I've been doing a lot of cooking, and something that's been high on my cook list today has actually been chocolate. So I thought I would spend some time with you guys tonight talking about one of my favorite ingredients and whether chocolate can fit into a healthy diet. Because, for many of us, the thought of chocolate being healthy doesn't quite, fit. There's sort of almost like are you sure that chocolate can be healthy? Well, I'd like to have a chat with you guys about that tonight because it's about high time we talked exactly about whether we can eat chocolate and still maintain a healthy weight and, of course, a healthy lifestyle as well. So we are discussing tonight, can you eat chocolate and lose weight? And I'm also going to be sharing with you 5 things about chocolate you may not know. So really exciting topics tonight. Let me know where you are joining me from. If you're joining me, what part of the world you're in. Like I was saying, I'm joining you guys from Sydney, Australia. It has been a sensational day outside. Not that I got outside very much. I was in the kitchen prepping for a really big photo shoot tomorrow. So tomorrow I've got a list that's in front of me. I'll show you. This is my list of photos that I'll be taking tomorrow for my cookbook. Every single item on there is a recipe that I prepared today and yesterday for a big Photoshop shoot that's happening tomorrow. I've just seen, is it Sar's coming from Brisbane? Welcome on board, Sar. But yeah, we've got a big photo shoot tomorrow happening. I don't know. I haven't even counted how many things I need to photograph tomorrow. I haven't even counted. But there was a lot of cooking going on, and some of that cooking that I was doing was in fact cooking with chocolate. Now, not many of you may be aware, but we actually sell chocolate. So I'm going to give it an absolute, plug, completely unbiased plug for the chocolate that we sell here at Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. So I am, of course, talking about our smooth as chocolate. And as you guys can see, let me take that banner off so you can really see what we're talking about here. As you guys can see, our smooth as chocolate, firstly, there's only 3 ingredients in our chocolate, and all our ingredients are plant-based. It is 70% dark cacao beans. So it's made from 70% cacao beans, which means it's a pretty dark chocolate. And it's kind of the type of darkness that you're starting to really head into the healthy range. When chocolate doesn't have a lot of cacao, it tends to have a lot of other stuff to give it that chocolate flavor. So the more percentage of cacao to your chocolate, that's how you can tell a good chocolate. The more percentage of cacao, the less added ingredients. And for us, we're talking about 70% cacao beans. It is also a small batch chocolate, handcrafted right here in Australia. In fact, Sarah, it's made up your way in Queensland. So I've got this wonderful husband and wife team. All they do is chocolate. They are chocolatiers, and they hand make our chocolate for us. They create it every single week. They then pop it onto a courier, and they courier it down to us here in Sydney, where we repackage it. We put it into small packets and send out to our community. Our chocolate is, of course, sugar-free, gluten-free, and dairy-free, which is really important, which makes it, of course, as well, it's completely 100% plant-based, and it's got 3 ingredients. There's no fillers, there's no preservatives, there's no additives. There is nothing like that in our chocolate. It is just pure goodness, and I'm super proud of it, as you guys probably are all well aware. I am super proud of our chocolate because it is delicious. Oh, she already knows. You've already had it. You know it's delicious. And just seeing Nawai is saying she's tuning in from Brisbane as well. That's where our chocolate's coming from. A little bit further north than Brisbane, actually. It's a little bit further north. And I can see Pam saying it's the best chocolate. Look, I have to agree with you. I am biased, but I have every right to be biased because when we had a chocolate shortage only a couple of months ago, I could not get my hands on our smooth as chocolate. So our chocolatier contacted me and let me know that there was a worldwide chocolate shortage, and a lot of it had to do with a virus or a fungus that had made its way into some of the larger chocolate growing regions and had really wiped out a lot of the chocolate, a lot of the cacao beans that were available. So a lot of the bigger companies, and I'm talking about our Nestle's and those behemoths, right, our Cadbury's and stuff, they went into the market and they took all of the available chocolate. They literally did. They're like chocolate thieves, and they left almost nothing for the small, handcrafted, sustainable, ethical producers like the one that produces our chocolate. So there was a chocolate shortage, and it was terrifying. I had no idea when we'd get it back, right? I had absolutely no idea. I was scared, terrified. I couldn't face people online because I was just getting messages daily, like tens and sometimes dozens and dozens of messages daily from people saying, when is your chocolate back in stock? Well, it's back in stock. And in fact, our chocolatier, our wonderful couple up there in Queensland, they're on a really, really good kind of flow at the moment. And they're able to send me chocolate whenever I need it. So we've got some in store right now for you guys. And look, he's keeping an eye on the chocolate situation around the world. He is keeping an eye on it. This is the chocolatier. And so at the moment, we've got chocolate in stock, which is exciting. And it's exciting for all these wonderful reasons that we need to talk about. So firstly, can you eat chocolate and lose weight? So the easy answer here is yes. But, and there's some big buts here that we need to discuss. When it comes to chocolate, eating just any old chocolate is not going to cut it. Because unfortunately, what we are talking about when it comes to those types of chocolates that you would pretty much find in your supermarkets is the majority of them have a lot of additives, a lot of extra things, pardon me, have been thrown in there. And some of those extra things are, well, the main thing is sugar, of course, to make it sweet. And in fact, there's a lot of chocolate on the market. You know, I said that our chocolate is 70% cacao. You get chocolate like, for example, Hershey's is a really good example. The Hershey's brand of chocolate has less than 11% actual cacao. So we have 70%. They have less than 11%. Cadbury's is the same. I think Cadbury's has slightly more cacao than, say, the American Hershey's brand, but not enough to actually, not enough to warrant it as being chocolate, because they take out all the actual cacao, which is the hard to get stuff, the pure chocolate, and they replace it with other stuff. And those other stuff tends to be things like palm oil, which is really toxic for us, not to mention the devastation it's doing to the environment. We're also talking about different types of sugar and different types of syrups in order to compensate for the fact that there is not very much chocolate in there. But, additives and fillers and preservatives and all those sort of things that actually, give the impression of chocolate without it actually being very chocolatey. So I tend to always stay away from dairy milk chocolate because it's got a lot of dairy in there, obviously. But chocolate in general that you're getting from your supermarket, whether it's your Cadbury's, whether it's your Hershey's, all those types of chocolates, some of them of the Lindt brand of chocolates, you're tending to get more other stuff than you are actually getting chocolate. And even when you're going for those Lindt chocolates where they've got more percentage, so they're a darker chocolate, of course, there's always sugar in there as well. So, buyer beware when it comes to buying chocolate. How much actual chocolate are you getting compared with the other stuff? And if you are buying Cadbury's or a Hershey's or any of those other number of cheaper chocolates where they're selling you a chocolate bar for $1, how is that possible? Well, it's because there's not much chocolate in there. It's all the other stuff that are cheap and nasty, right? So it's a good idea to just be aware of that sort of stuff. I'm just having a look at our comments here. We've got Trace saying her sister is the fussiest ever and she truly loved. Oh, you made the aroha bites. Well, guess what, Trace? I actually made those today, those aroha bites. I made them for the book. I haven't photographed them yet. They are currently in the fridge, just setting. And they have made it into the brand new cookbook, of course, because they're fabulous. And I'm so happy that you say that your super fussy sister actually really enjoyed our chocolate. Like, I enjoy our chocolate, and I really struggled during that chocolate shortage because, buying a lesser quality chocolate, you just kind of know. Even though it was sugar-free, I was just like, this isn't that exciting. So let's talk about the health benefits of chocolate, because that's why we're really here, right? We want to know that we can still have our cake and eat it too, for want of a better pun, but it kind of fits, doesn't it? So let's talk about chocolate in terms of, some healthy facts about chocolate, because the last thing that you want to do, and this can be really problematic, is that we tend to, as humans, when we start to, look at our health and look at our weight, we start to attach, and this can happen from a very young age. I'm talking right back in our very early teens, right? We start to attach guilt to food. So we guilt ourselves when we consume something that we potentially think is not that healthy. And chocolate is right up there with some of the top guilty pleasures, guilty eating, where we feel really bad about ourselves, that we're failures and that we've got no willpower because we've given into temptation. So here's the good news. And of course, I am talking about our chocolate. I'm talking about smooth as chocolate when I'm having this conversation with you guys, because the other chocolates, even if they're sugar-free, chances are they don't just come with 3 ingredients. Chances are they're not also gluten and dairy-free. So, and handcrafted here in Australia by this amazing husband and wife team. Like, I'm just in love with these guys. All right. So when it comes to chocolate, here's some really cool things for you to know. Firstly, when I'm talking about dark chocolate, right? Our 70% chocolate, we're talking about a chocolate that is high or very, very rich in antioxidants. And antioxidants are these little kind of almost like soldiers, right? That's how I like to refer to them. They're like soldiers that go into your body and they power their way through your body and they neutralize any kind of bad guys that are floating around. These are what are called free radicals. They neutralize free radicals. So dark chocolate is really rich in fighting soldiers or antioxidants, which go in and help to neutralize any of those free radicals that are floating around, basically causing a little bit of havoc. So that's number one. Dark chocolate is rich in antioxidants. And I'm just like, yeah, I like that. That for me is good news. I like that. All right, number 2. This is cool as well. Chocolate can improve your brain functioning. So there's little compounds in chocolate, or these little antioxidants, and they're known as flavonoids or flavonoids. And flavonoids can actually increase the flow of blood to your brain, which can enhance your memory, enhance your focus, and also can even help with how your brain operates, so your cognitive performance as well. I mean, that's kind of cool, don't you think, that chocolate makes you brainy? That used to be my nickname when I was a kid. This is what I used to get teased. The name I was teased with as a child when I was at school is I was called Brainy Box. And now I'm just like, that was so not a tease. That's actually really cool. And, and I like to think that I can continually, improve my brain health by all the healthy things that I'm doing. And now we know that chocolate actually increases the blood flow to our brain. So I'm going to be even more of a Brainy Box. I thought that was a really cool. At the time, I was horrified when someone would call me Brainy Box, because I was just like, oh my God, they all think I'm a nerd. Now I just love, if anyone called me a nerd, I'm like, yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm a nutritional nerd. I'm a food nerd. I'm all those things. I'm here for it. I'm here for you calling me a nerd. Call me a Brainy Box. I'm quite happy to take on that profile. Completely happy. So, good news. Dark chocolate is good for your brain. Of course, I'm talking about sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free dark chocolate, right? Dark chocolate is good for your brain. Another really cool thing about chocolate, and this is number 3, is dark chocolate actually can stimulate the release of those hormones that just make you feel good. So dark chocolate can improve your mood. And you're probably going, yeah, I think I already knew that. Like the really crazy thing is that if you think about this, right? When you're feeling a little bit low, maybe things haven't been all that great. Well, sometimes you just want to have a piece of chocolate. You just want to kind of feel good. And that is literally that chocolate's really incredibly awesome ability to help to enhance our mood by helping to promote the release of those feel-good hormones, those endorphins. So, if you've ever in the past kind of felt a little bit low and then thought, I'd really like some chocolate, just know that this is your body saying, hey, I know what's going to make us feel a little bit better. And the body is like, one of its main jobs is to keep you alive. And the way that it does it is it wants to create balance or homeostasis in your body. So when we are feeling down, the body's job is to help to bring us back up again. So it will literally send us signals, and food is often involved here to help to balance out things that may not be quite in order. And chocolate does help to enhance. It helps to make us feel a little bit better. It releases these happy hormones. So chocolate is a mood enhancer. That's number 3. All right, number 4. So number 4, and again, this is awesome news for so many of us, is, believe it or not, and it's true, it's science, so definitely believe it, is that chocolate is actually a source of dietary fiber. So there is fiber in your chocolate. Like, that is so good to know, because fiber, of course, is what we need to feed our healthy gut bacteria, right? Fiber is there to help our gut bugs to feed. It's there to help our gut bugs, our good gut bugs, to start to multiply and to grow. And how cool is it to know that you're having a piece of our smooth as chocolate and you're actually helping your gut bugs to flourish? So there is dietary fiber in chocolate, which is good to know. So you'd be like, I'm getting my fiber in. Look, it's these kind of facts. Like I said, I want to take away that guilt element that so many of us have when it comes to food. Like, do something. When you do something, I don't want you to attach guilt to it. And I'm talking about food, of course. I want you to do things consciously and being actively aware of it. So when I have some chocolate, of course, I make sure it's our chocolate, our smooth as chocolate. When I have chocolate, it's my intention to have it. I don't just, I don't just trip over it as I'm going through the cupboard. I literally make a determination that this is what I'm going to do, and then I go and do it. So when I look at food that way, I attach very little guilt to something because I've made the decision. I've made that decision. This is what I'm going to do. And when it comes to chocolate, look at these amazing health benefits that we're already talking about when it comes to chocolate and how, dark chocolate is healthy for us. And as well as, we're talking about, so we talked about being rich in antioxidants, which is really cool. And we talked about it improving your brain functioning, which is just amazing. It helps to boost our moods. And it is also a source of fiber. But what about weight management? Okay, how does it help us to lose weight? So number 5, consuming chocolate in moderation. It doesn't mean you can go into the cupboard and, completely go bananas with the chocolate. We're still talking about moderation. Consuming dark chocolate in moderation can help to curb cravings. It can help to promote satisfaction or satiety. And in this way, if you're having good quality dark chocolate with no sugar, no dairy, no gluten, if you're having it in moderation and you're being mindful about this, so you're mindfully eating and you're not attaching guilt to it, in moderation, eating chocolate can actually improve your body's ability to stay on track when it comes to weight loss. And that for me is just some of the best news. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm just like, that's good news. So I want to show you guys some of the things that I have created using, of course, our smooth as chocolate. So these are some of the recipes that I've created using our smooth as chocolate. We've got our these up the top on the top left hand side there, what you're looking at, and that sort of orange. Gosh, those are amazing. These are my healthy version of Reeses Pieces. We've got these little nut clusters there, chocolate truffles. This is the cake. I'm going right across the top, by the way. The cake that you see going across the top there with the sprinkle on it, that is a chocolate and cauliflower cake. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is, I call it magic because it's literally magic. You can put cauliflower in cake. Underneath the Bridget's Healthy Kitchen sign is actually our chocolate, our vampire truffles. So we take black garlic. You're probably thinking this is all weird if you've never tried one of my recipes, right? We take black garlic, yes, and then we cover it in chocolate. You can't see it, but it's under that. It's under that little thing there. There's a down the bottom now. So right hand bottom. That is my 2-ingredient chocolate cake. We've got a 4-ingredient magic fudge cake. Oh my gosh, that 4-ingredient chocolate cake right there. I've just gone one over. It looks like a loaf. Oh my God, that is so smooth. That is so good. Actually, I'm saying that because I haven't made that one for a while and now I'm salivating. We've got quinoa cookies there with a chocolate glaze. We've got an air fried chocolate brownie. We've got chocolate hot chocolate. We've got more chocolate fudgy, delicious, incredible balls there. And then the last cake with the strawberries on it. Oh my word, that little bit of goodness, that is a chocolate and avocado cake. And if you're wondering about the chocolate and avocado cake, all I can say is chocolate and avocado are the most fabulous flavor combination. Like it's really, really good. Chocolate and avocado. So you can actually, and once again, you're adding avocado to chocolate. So you're adding some amazing monounsaturated fats. You're adding fiber, you're adding nutrients, and everything that you saw there was, of course, on that last slide was, of course, sugar-free, gluten-free, and dairy-free. And I use my smooth as chocolate, which means it is just so incredibly natural. And I just think we're just so lucky that we get to enjoy these types of foods and to know that in moderation, we can absolutely eat a bit of chocolate. Just make sure that chocolate is good quality. Make sure that chocolate is dark. Make sure it's at least 70% pure cacao. Unlike those other varieties, the Hershey's and the Cadbury's and I don't even know what those other brands are. you know, that you buy in the supermarket or in the service station, you know, and they have such little amounts of chocolate. Oh, here's a crazy thing. I want to put that slide back up for you guys and just remind you about this recipe that I did. All right, so top left-hand corner, right? That's my that was my flavor version of Reese's Pieces. Now, you guys all know what Reese's Pieces are, right? It's that American candy that is kind of like your peanut butter and chocolate flavors, right? So I made these Reese's Pieces, but I called them Reese's Pieces because, of course, we use smooth edge chocolate, and which made it amazing. I think it was only like 2 or 3 ingredients in that one as well. So I thought I would scare myself and look at the ingredients on a packet of actual Reese's Pieces. So you know the orange, you know the one I'm talking about, right? They do the peanut butter cups, chocolate peanut butter cups. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have a look at the ingredients. And so I did a bit of a Google search, as you do. And what came up was that Reese's Pieces have 18 ingredients in them. And I thought, that's kind of normal, you know, like that's kind of normal. So it wasn't really the amount of ingredients. It was actually what the ingredients are. And I'm just going to pull it up again because I've got to tell you guys this. It freaked me out. So ingredients in Reese's, I got to spell it right. Reese's, I think it's an S. Yeah, Pieces. Are you ready? Okay. So it did say, yes, there was 18 ingredients. The first ingredients, of course, I mean, you guys already know what the first ingredients is going to be, right? And if you thought chocolate, no. Reese's Pieces' first ingredient, of course, is sugar. So the majority of ingredients you're getting in that particular box of goodness is sugar. That's the first ingredient. The second ingredient is partially defatted peanuts. And I'm like, okay, they only wanted to partially defat them. Like, I don't even know why they're defatting them at all. I imagine they're taking the fat out of the peanuts. I mean, how do you even do that? Like, you know, there's some wicked food manufacturing technology going on there, right? So they take the fat out of the peanuts. And I'm thinking the reason they do that is because peanuts naturally have natural oil, right? Peanut oil in the peanuts. And I would imagine that just having that peanut in its natural form would create too much oil for them and throw off all the rest of the ingredients. So I think that's why they do it. They take it out because otherwise it wouldn't be stable. And, you know, they're all about stability the longer that product can stay on the shelf. So I was like, oh, yeah, peanuts. Next, third ingredient, hydrogenated vegetable oil, palm oil, and soybean oil. Oh, yum. My favorite. Soybean oil and palm oil. That's ingredient number 3. If it's hydrogenated vegetable oil, that is the most toxic oils you could ever put into your body. So a vegetable that's been turned into an oil has had so much processing done to it, your body just finds it toxic. That's ingredient number 3. Ingredient number 4, yay, corn syrup. Corn syrup is just another form of sugar. So we've already got 2 types of sugar. And the list goes on. It's got dextrose in there, which is a type of corn again. It's usually maize. It's kind of a starch. And then it just goes on and on and on. One thing that really surprised me after I'm reading through the ingredients list going, oh, yum, artificial colors. So there's yellow, 5, red, 40, which is particularly problematic, especially for children. All of these food colorings. I mean, why do they need food colorings in Reese's Pieces? I couldn't work that one out. But they've got yellow, red, yellow, and blue all in there. So food colorings in there. That is really problematic, especially for children who are already, are challenged with behavioral conditions. So I'm talking about, ADHD, autism, these types of conditions where the children, need to have real food basically, and we're giving them artificial colors. I mean, you probably would look at a Reese's piece and get there's no artificial colors in there. Well, we're all extremely wrong. There is modified cornstarch, blah 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 blah. The one that really got me was this thing, and I had to Google it, and it's called carnauba wax. I went, there's wax in our chocolate. So I did a bit of a Google search to what this wax was. And this wax is, firstly, it is used in car polish, shoe polish. Doesn't that sound just delicious? Aren't you excited that your chocolate has wax in it? That is, it's an ingredient for car polish, like as in car wax, and also shoe polish. And I'm just like, yeah, like that sounds awesome. I am surprised that they can put that type of product in something that they also put in, automotive waxes and polishes. You can also find this particular wax in cosmetics. You can find it in pharmaceutical coatings. It is, yeah, and it also, they use it in furniture and floor polishes as well. So that's very exciting. But as I'm going through these ingredients list of these Reese's Pieces, and kind of mildly starting to twitch, like my eye was starting to twitch, like, oh my God, what's that? What next? The thing that really got me was that when I looked down the ingredients list, what I absolutely could not believe was there was no chocolate. There was no chocolate in Reese's Pieces, which tastes like chocolate. There's no chocolate in Reese's Pieces. The peanut butter cups that you see, that you buy. I was just like, I was shocked that there was actually no chocolate inside of it. It just was everything else, including floor polish was in there. So what more reason do we need to be eating well, looking after our health, especially when it comes to the types of treats that we're putting in? Because for me, floor polish is not a treat. All that sugar is not a treat. I'd rather not, to be honest with you. I don't want to put artificial food colorings into my body, let alone into children's bodies, let alone into kids' bodies, right? I would much rather spend the 5 minutes it makes to make my own Reese's Pieces and then use the best quality chocolate and know that I'm looking after my brain, I'm enhancing my mood, I'm looking after also my heart health. And if I'm having my dark chocolate in moderation, I'm also supporting my weight loss as well. And I'm just looking down at Natasha, and she's saying now she's even more mad. Oh, I saw that, Natasha. So for anyone who doesn't know, here's the backstory. I'm going to pop Natasha's comment up on there. So Natasha, I saw it. Was it today that you posted it, that your son actually threw away your chocolate covered black garlic or your vampire truffles? You're going to get him to listen to this, maybe not, because now we've just outed him. We've outed him that he threw it away. I'm thinking it was an accident. But I feel your pain. Oh my gosh. But in this house, it wasn't because someone accidentally threw it away. It would have been because somebody, not naming any names, accidentally ate it. Guess who would have done that? So I hope you guys have got some great bit of information about our chocolate out of here. Look, moderation is the key when it comes to everything in life. Chocolate is it needs to be eaten in moderation as well. We know that. But if you are eating chocolate, you need to make sure it's the chocolate that's going to support your journey, support your brain, support your heart, support your weight loss, and also taste amazingly delicious at the same time. So no more guilt eating. So thank you for joining me tonight. I am back in the kitchen after this doing some more cooking because it is time to get that new cookbook to you guys. And of course, the chocolate truffles or the vampire truffles are totally in there just for you, Natasha. Tell your son I'm putting them in there. so he knows not to ever throw them away again. So, everyone, be well, be safe, and I look forward to catching up with you guys really, really soon. Until then, we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye. Bye, guys.